Hello neighbors, it's Brad here at Etrailer, and today we're going to take a look at the Hollywood Racks Destination, which is a platform style bike rack. It's also hitch mounted, as you can tell. And today it's on a 2014 Honda CRV. So this is a great bike option for anyone that has four bikes, whether it be family members or friends that all want to ride together. You can take them all there and not have to worry about your bikes falling off, making contact, or being damaged in the process of transporting them. So this bike rack is going to be good for a big variety of vehicles. The only bike that you might not want to use this for would be an e-bike due to its weight. This rack can hold up to 35 pounds per bike, and your e-bikes tend to be larger than that. Your fat tire bikes are also going to be potentially a problem, as the max width on your tire is going to be 3-inch. So this will account all your road bikes. Most mountain bikes should have no problem fitting on here. So the way that it attaches is this nice ratchet style system with this rubber strap on it. So it's a ratcheting style, so it's as simple as running that through, and it's got a nice finger loop to tighten it down and going until it is tight. Now this rubber strap is going to keep any damage from your wheels having friction against it while, kind of bouncing around on the highway, keep it from getting scratched. That continues on to your frame mount. And the frame mount is a nice style because it's going to keep this bike from really moving around as you're transporting. And also, you have a 360-degree adjustment to rotate this however your frame may be. So your odd-shaped frames, whether it be a step-through bike or something with a large rake, you might be able to, or you will be able to, attach to it. Also carries on with that rubber padding to keep your frame from being damaged. Now also, you're going to see here, this center mast here is going to hold that bike in place. So let me go ahead and I'll remove the other strap on the back here. And this is nice because you can actually rotate this out of the way, which sometimes on bike racks I've noticed the strap will be in the way as you're trying to pull it off or put it back on. These actually rotate out. But with this center mast, a lot of times having to lift your bike over it can kind of be troublesome. This alleviates that. So what this has is this little arm here on the center mast, and we'll just simply loosen this up. And we're going to lift this arm out of place. Some of this guy's kind of getting in the way here, but once that arm's out of the way, you can see the center mast drops down. And now there's nothing in the way of you getting your bike off. So with this mast folded down, something that's kind of nice is you can use these straps to actually strap this down, and that way it's not going to flip around on the highway. And this is also going to be nice when it's in its tilted up position. So while we have this folded out, let's see how far this sticks out. Now it is a platform style and it is for four bikes. So it's rather large just by the nature of having four bikes. But sticking out from our CRV, we're right at about 41 inches. So something to consider when you're backing into your garage and you don't have it folded up, or if you're parking in a small parking spot with a wall behind it. So a ground clearance measurement is going to be important if you're taking this to some maybe off-road trails that have rougher terrain, and it's going to be 19 inches from the bottom of the rack to the ground. Also to take in consideration is if you're going up an incline, this is going to tilt down. This does have a 3 3/4 inch shank raise, which we'll see as we get closer, and what that does is elevate the entire platform to give you a nice clearance. Another nice feature of this rack is the ability to still be able to use your hatch. Now notice there is no bike on here, so if you need to go grocery shopping or load your stuff in the car, that's no problem. You just take the bike off and you're still able to do that. Some bike racks don't allow for that. Now, if you're not riding at all, don't have your bike with you, nor plan on doing it during the day, another nice feature is the turn of this pin, which has a nice strap. That way, if you fumble with it, it's not gonna roll away and be lost forever. So we can put this in the stowed position. And what that's going to do is obviously give us less distance hanging off the back of our vehicle, and it sits nice and compact. Now it's not too terribly close to the vehicle, which is good, so it's not going to make contact. So from the rear hatch to the front part of it, it's right at about 7 inches, so plenty of clearance there. From the trunk to the furthest part on the rack, we're looking at about 19 inches. So in the stowed position, just know that you have a little under 2 foot hanging off the back of your vehicle. Now something you're going to notice, this does cover the center section, so this reverse camera might not be a best option in a folded position. So that's something you want to think about when purchasing a rack. Now another thing too, you saw that it tilts up and you're able to open the hatch, and that's without a bike on it. If it's very important to keep your bike strapped and still access your hatch or trunk, it's very important to look at a tilt-away bike rack, which should give you that clearance to open that up as it's tilted down, and you can still get into your trunk. As you can see, as I mentioned earlier, the 3 3/4 inch shank rise here, that's what gives us that ground clearance, which is really nice. Now feeding back in, you're going to see this anti-rattle hitch pin, which is included. So you tighten that down, and that's going to make sure that the rack itself is not going to slap around while being in the hitch. So what's nice about the anti-rattle hitch pin on this particular bike rack is the inclusion of the ability to lock it. Now you can buy these separately for other bike racks, but this is included, and that's one less thing that you have to buy. So you're able to lock this in place, and that way you can leave it on your vehicle and not have to worry about someone loosening up the bolt and taking the rack with them. So we're going to take this out on the test course and see how this performs while hitting some bumps and having a bike attached.
This is our test course. Let's start with the slalom. This shows side-to-side action, such as turning corners or evasive maneuvering. Then onto our alternating speed bumps. This shows twisting action, such as hitting curbs, potholes, road debris, or even uneven pavement.
The Hollywood Racks Destination, I think, is a good option for anyone that wants to transport 4 bikes, whether you have a family or a bunch of friends that want to ride. It's got high ground clearance, so if you're a mountain biker and you're off on the beaten path, this will get you there without bottoming out. I do like the tilt feature on bike racks that I've used, just so when my bike's attached, I can still use a trunk. While you don't have that, that might not be a make or break, and that really comes with some of the more premium bike racks. But the fact that you have nice straps that allow for a lot of different tires and the frame mount holding the bike secure is a really, really good option. Overall, the quality feels good, and I do think this is a bike rack that you could buy and have for a long time. And as the family grows, you can bring them with you. So that's a look at our Hollywood Racks Destination 4-bike bike rack on a 2014 Honda CRV.